Hey there guys, it's Dr. Shazetta. I hope you guys are doing well. I want to welcome you to today's video. I want to talk to you guys about just a little bit of what I'm experiencing today. I think this is my first kind of sit down and be still video where I'm not holding the phone on the channel, and so I'm excited to share this time with you. I want to talk to you today about the importance of giving yourself permission, right? I think that a lot of times we hold ourselves to these unrealistic, unsustainable standards. You know, we set schedules, we set routines, all of which I think they're important, all of which you'll learn more about and hear more about on this channel as I navigate my own way through living more intentionally, through living more slowly, through living more sustainably, not just in terms of materialistically, but even in terms of practice. What does it mean to put things in place, to set my intention every morning, and to live a life that is in general more sustainable? Part of what I'm learning is that a major part, I won't say the, but a major part of living a more sustainable life is being kind to myself and giving myself permission to build in flex time to my routine. Like so many others of us, I have written schedules and calendars and these really rigid routines, but oftentimes I've not given myself the permission to build in flex time. What is flex time? Flex time means that although I have a schedule that I would like to stick to, although I have some very tangible goals each day or each week or each month that I would like to achieve, that if I build a schedule that's so rigid that doesn't make time or doesn't acknowledge the fact that no matter how much we plan, life happens, that I'm setting myself up for failure. And so part of building in flex time, though, is giving yourself permission to acknowledge when you don't have time for something, when you're tired, when you wake up and you don't feel as inspired on a given morning as you thought that you would feel. Today was one of those days. Last night or yesterday was Tuesday. And normally I set aside Monday as my time for creating, as my time for creating content, as just time when I do my thing. I don't schedule Zoom meetings on Mondays. I don't schedule work meetings or client meetings on Monday. Monday is generally my day. But this particular week, I agreed to a Monday meeting for one of the institutions that I work for because, well, it couldn't be done on any other day. And while I'm grateful and wouldn't take back the fact that I allowed that to happen on Monday, my day, right, it threw my entire week off. And so by the time I got to Tuesday, I was just a little bit frazzled because I had so many of my own ideas that I would have normally gotten out on a Monday, but Tuesday was a day that I'm committed to so many other things, more Zoom meetings, more work for the institutions, more academic stuff. Like I'm committed in a different way on Tuesday. Tuesday is a different kind of day for homeschooling as well. And so Tuesday I was dealing with carrying the weight of all of my personal stuff that I hadn't dealt with Monday. And so by the time I got to Tuesday afternoon around 1 or 2 o'clock, not only did I mentally crash, but my physical body said, okay, you're done for the day. And so at first I got frustrated by it. I was discouraged by it. But then I thought about this principle that I'm trying to live my life by as I'm building a more intentional and sustainable lifestyle for day-to-day living. Like it's really important. And so I looked at my schedule today and realized that this afternoon, beginning around 4 o'clock, I've got back-to-back Zoom meetings until well after my normal bedtime, until about 9:30, which I normally start winding down about 8. And I said to myself, if I've got to be in front of a screen all of the late afternoon, evening on Wednesday, then I'm giving myself permission to have a screen-free day on Wednesday. Now, screen-free day doesn't mean that I don't watch TV. It doesn't mean that I don't check my phone. It doesn't mean that I don't record a video like I'm doing right now. But screen-free for me means that I don't obligate myself to checking email at my normal times, that I don't sit down to edit videos for clients, that I don't sit down to create graphics for clients or even for myself sometimes. But it is the day that time that I take to do things that are most important to me. And so what I did was I gave myself permission to use Wednesday morning today, or the first half of the day today, to do what I normally would have done for myself on Monday. things that bring me joy. So today I washed all of the dishes that are stacked up in the sink. I don't like washing dishes, but I like looking at a clean kitchen. Today I organized my son's bedroom, which had gotten out of control and was a point of stress because we live in a very small home environment. So his room is his room, and that is the place where he sleeps, but it is also the main closet that we use for the entire family's wardrobe. And so every single day I was having to go in there, step over stuff, move stuff around, and well, that is becoming a catastrophe, or was. And so I spent the day today and cleaned up his room. And then my hair was getting out of control, and I like my sides to be a little bit more clean. And so I took the time today to cut my hair and to wash my hair and to moisturize my skin and to exfoliate and to not wear makeup today, because today is a day when I'm giving myself permission to do the things that make me happy and that bring me joy. Why am I sharing this? I've been reading and listening to a lot of articles and a lot of videos around people getting burned out, around people getting overwhelmed, about people having screen fatigue and Zoom fatigue, because this virtual pandemic world has caused us and others to believe that we should be available all the time, to be on a screen, to be in constant dialogue, to be taking phone calls, to be doing video calls and meetings and webinars and conferences, such that we have stopped, or maybe we never did in the first place, but we don't give ourselves permission to be free or to be untethered or to be detached from everyone's beck and call. I'm going to talk in another video about this philosophy that I'm working around in terms of being detached, in terms of disconnecting, not necessarily going totally off the grid, but how we look at some of our more antiquated ways of doing things and we readopt those into our current living situation to make our lives more healthy and more sustainable. One of those things that I'm really excited about is this idea of email. All of us, or most of us who are connected in any way, have email addresses in 2022. Many of us have multiples for client work, for business work, for consulting work, for personal, for ministry. We have multiple email addresses, and we check those multiple times a day because we're afraid that we're going to miss something. What that has resulted, though, in is a constant scrolling, a constant checking, a constant pressure or need to feel like we need to respond right now in the moment. So one thing I'm working toward in my personal life, I've not achieved it yet, but I've gotten really close and gotten better, is that I'm working on readopting what it means to receive mail. No matter when someone sent a letter, before we were dealing with electronic mail, we were doing only snail mail. It didn't matter if you sent the letter at 9 a.m. and it was supposed to get there by the next morning at 9 a.m. If the mailman did not arrive to your home by 9 a.m., you could not open the mail. Therefore, the sender of the mail had to wait until you received it before they could even reasonably expect a response. And so I am beginning to adopt a notion that there may be 1 or 2 times a day alone that I check email, that I write email, and that I respond to email. And I know you're thinking that this might be unrealistic, but it's actually working for me pretty well. And what I've done is I have begun to prepare my community. I've begun to share with my community, the people around me, my business partners, the places that I consult for, that this is what I am adopting as a practice of self-care, mental health, mental wellness, is that I am creating a time when I'm accessible via email. And it's working, and it's becoming less stressful. I don't find myself waking every morning feeling like I have to check email immediately. I don't find myself going to bed feeling like I need to check email. I don't find myself in the middle of the day checking that I haven't missed anything. I've set a couple of set times a day when I check email, and it is working. I'm going to come back to another video to kind of share more specifically how I navigate that, how I organize my email boxes, how I receive mail, how I deal with mail, how I archive mail. Because all of that is important. I'm going to do that. But today, I want you to focus on giving yourself permission to take care of you, even as you're working to increase productivity. So another place that I'm giving permission, this is kind of more a rambling head, and I'm sorry that I keep adjusting my my shirt, but that's part of permission today. I'm out of uniform, right? You'll get to learn about me that I have a really small wardrobe capsule, and this is one of the very few multicolored pieces of clothing that I order. I think it's like this and one other that I own, but most of the time I wear a uniform, so a pair of black jeans and a black turtleneck or some sort of black top is normally what I wear because it's what I'm most comfortable in. It's what I believe looks best. It works for almost everywhere that I am. But today I wanted to be more comfortable. So I have my black pair of black leggings, and I have on my multicolored blouse that essentially doesn't touch me anywhere. It's loose. It's not touching me. And so it's extremely comfortable for the duration of the day today. But giving yourself permission is where I want you to begin, and what I want you to begin to think about. That in order for us to live intentionally, for us to live sustainably, for us to live minimally, if minimalism is your thing as it is mine, that you have to be kind to yourself. I think that a lot of the videos and a lot of the books that we read around self-help and increasing productivity, I don't think that they teach us to be kind to ourselves. And if this pandemic time from 2020 until now has taught us nothing, it is that we have to focus on taking care of ourselves and our overall well-being, physically, mentally, emotionally, and yes, even professionally. That the way that we do our best work is to make sure that we are taking the best possible care of ourselves, that we are embracing and nurturing the gifts and the talents and the feelings and the brilliance of our thoughts. The only difference between us and best-selling authors is that we haven't put our thoughts and our ideas to paper yet. And I intend, not only for me, but for you, to change that. That we all will begin to understand and to see the value of our voice and our thoughts and our ideas, and that no matter how many hats we wear, no matter how many roles we play, that we create space in our lives to create and to produce and to make our voices heard, to have our ideas be general conversation for people, that we all have the ability, the potential to be household names in one house or two at least, right? But to me, in my mind, my perspective is that requires us giving ourselves permission to take a break, to breathe, to cut our hair, to not wear makeup, to wear something different than our uniform, to take a day to detach and to be unavailable to anyone outside of your immediate family and those who depend on you for care. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it gave you at least something to think about. I invite you today to subscribe to the channel, to hit the notifications bell, as I aspire to post at least one video every week, just chatting about what it means to live our best life. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. All the best to you. Give yourself permission today. Like, stop right now. Give yourself permission to do something that brings you joy or that's life-giving to you. Take care. I'll talk to you next time.